Donald Trump is, of course, facing legal challenges from any number of different directions. One aspect of that is the Stormy Daniels Avenatti lawsuit over his alleged affair back in 2016 with former adult film star Stormy Daniels, and the possibility that he broke campaign finance laws in paying her off before the actual election. Now, their defense against Stormy Daniels has never been what I would consider polite, but it got way more aggressive this week with Rudy Giuliani, the mouthpiece for President Trump, deciding to simply trash all adult film stars in a bid to ruin her credibility. Joining us now to break this down is Aurora Snow, columnist for The Daily Beast, independent journalist, and also a former adult film actress. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. So before we comment on this, I do want to play a little bit of his commentary about Stormy Daniels. So let's roll that.
I know Donald Trump, and
Let's respect him.
Look at his three wives, right? Beautiful women, classy women, women of great substance. Stormy Daniels? I'm sorry, I don't respect a porn star the way I respect a career woman or a woman of substance.
So what is your reaction to Rudy Giuliani's attack there?
Right, so first of all, he's making the statement that porn stars are not career women and not women of substance. Which is ridiculous. You know, I saw more of that clip as well. And there was one point in time when he actually did say, I respect porn stars and I even respect criminals. And that was shortly before what he's saying there. Clearly, he does not respect porn stars, and he's equating them with criminals.
Exactly. It reminded me of the Saddam Hussein 9/11 back and forth that we had to go through more than a decade before. There's nothing criminal about working in that sort of work. You are legally allowed to do that. But it is, so this fits into, for me, what's been going on ever since Stormy Daniels popped up on the national scene, which is generally the right, of course, is trashing her and people in her career field as often as they want. But honestly, it feels like at many points, even like self-described liberals are oddly like gleeful and kind of condescending in the way they talk about Stormy Daniels and her work. What do you think about that? Do you agree that that's been out there?
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen that with Chelsea Handler, Judd Apatow. We've seen so many tweets from celebrities that do exactly what Giuliani did. They're equating porn stars to criminals, which tells you that that is how people still view sex workers. And I think that's an even bigger problem.
I agree. I think that considering like the stigma that still exists around this work, when you look at how popular the product is, I feel like almost every American, certainly every American male, has given a thumbs up to this sort of work. But then when they're not actually consuming it, suddenly the people that produce it, that actually do the work, are among the least trustworthy, perhaps criminals, all of that. What is it about engaging in this sort of work that makes it so easy for people to write these individuals off as humans?
I don't think it's the work. I think it's the viewers. I think there's an exaggerated sense of shame. Being in the adult industry is one of the only forms of entertainment where when a fan recognizes you out in public, they are afraid to come up and say hi because they have to explain to their family or their friends how they know you.
I guess I could sort of understand that, although it's too bad, especially when, I mean, some of these people who might appear in hundreds of films, a person who's a fan of their work could generate a feeling of attachment in the same way that you do to any other actor or actress who you would feel much more comfortable walking up to. So considering how popular the work is and the stigma still remaining, what can we do to help fight back against it, to help people feel more comfortable with the work and also not lash out and attack the actual people producing it?
I think, one, understanding that people who work in the adult industry are perfectly good people. These are people that are going to work, paying taxes, not criminals, and in some cases have families that they're supporting. You know, that would be step one, just recognizing that they are also human beings. Step two would be to take away that sense of shame. There is nothing wrong with either consuming or producing adult entertainment. But I don't know how you extract that, you know, from a culture where it's so deeply embedded.
Yeah, so one of the constant lines of attack that I've heard is, especially from right-wingers, although not necessarily universally, is that yes, technically this is legal work, technically people choose to enter into it, but let's keep it real, they're all being exploited, especially the women. No one would actually want to be in that line of work. And so it's a way to sort of do an end round around free will. And I think it makes it a lot easier to attack the industry when you pretend that the people aren't making any sort of conscious choice or willful choice to enter into it.
One, I think that there's some sort of hypocrisy in that kind of view, because you're saying, yes, these women are making choices, but they're not really making those choices for themselves. And at that point, are you saying that they're not capable because they're not smart enough? Or are you saying it's because they need some sort of parental guidance, even though they are adults and maybe even have kids themselves? It's this sense of shame, and it's sex work. And we have a really hard time accepting sex work as a form of entertainment and as a job, because so many people have issues separating the intimacy of it, because so many people couldn't, in fact, perform sex work. So if they couldn't do it, it's very hard to understand how somebody who is of good moral character might be able to.
Yeah, it's really too bad that at the same time that there's so many misconceptions and lack of knowledge about the field, there's also this feeling that we can't get to know or talk to the individuals. So the main pathway to learning more about what it's actually like to be a part of that is sort of willfully closed off, which seems unfortunate. But to turn back to the Giuliani and Stormy Daniels situation, I know that in your work on the Daily Beast, you've come back to this topic several times. Final question, do you believe that this line of attack will be successful in destroying your credibility?
No, I think it destroys his credibility. After you say statements like that, who's going to believe anything else that you have to say?
Well, I would say in the case of Rudy Giuliani, I hope that we would have passed that mark a long time ago, but maybe this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Anyway, I want to thank you for Aurora Snow for joining us. For anyone who would like to see, her work is available at the Daily Beast. Great to have you on and lend your experience and your point of view.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.